Hello and welcome to my very latest unboxing video. I am so excited to share this with you. You see this? I'm so excited. I have a copy of Uusi's latest release. Yeah, I have the Supra Oracle. It's so beautiful. It's just gorgeous. I cannot wait. I forced myself to wait until I could sit down and make a video. So I haven't even opened the plastic yet. As you can see, it comes with a beautiful screen printed muslin bag. If you've been following their Instagram at all, then you've seen them screen printing all of these bags by hand. It's so labor intensive and everything has been packaged so beautifully. So let's get into this. I do not own any Uusi decks. I have looked at their website many times. It's so nice. I've considered I've considered purchasing the Pagan Otherworlds Tarot for quite some time, but every time I go to buy it, I just think, no, not quite. I think it's a gorgeous deck. Like artistically, it's absolutely stunning, but I always think it's just not quite a tool that I will use as frequently as I imagine I will. However, when I saw the illustrations for this deck, I thought, oh, this is a divination deck that I will absolutely use because as I've mentioned in other videos, I have no fingernails. Let's see if I can get into this. As I've said in other videos, I do enjoy the collecting aspect of cartomancy, but I'm a reader first and a collector second. I enjoy the art of reading cards, and that's why I purchase decks, is to have the tools for fortune telling and divination. That's what I enjoy most. And I do enjoy the art. I enjoy the history of decks and of cartomancy in general, but certainly collection. Oh, look how beautiful this is. It's a deep, rich red on the inside. It might show up orange on camera, but it's red in person. Oh, let's see. I know some people really enjoy the art or the history of cartomancy, and that's why they collect. But for me, I feel I'm a reader first. Oh, let's see. There's one more card in here. The cards are very slick. For some reason, I expected this to have a linen finish, since I know the Pagan Otherworlds. I thought the Pagan Otherworlds deck had a linen finish. So I just expected this to have, but it's a very slick, plasticky kind of finish. It feels high quality. It feels like a high quality poker deck. Kind of a laminate, plasticky feel. It doesn't feel cheap, but it does feel very plastic-like. So I think that these are going to glide and slide in your hands really well if you're a shuffler like I am. So let's take a look through these cards. They're not a standard, they don't feel like a standard tarot size. They feel a little wider than that. So they might be a little hard for me personally to handle because I just have small hands. I prefer slightly smaller, more compact decks. So let's take a look here. Sorry, it looks like I've got a shadow from the iPad I'm using, so I've got a bit of a shadow on the cards, but I hope you can see the images fairly well anyway. I've been trying to find a good day to film, but it's been cloudy and overcast since I received this deck, and even with all my lights on, I'm not able to get a really great light in here, I'm afraid. Like most of you, I have admired Uusi decks for, oh, just the longest time. And oh, I followed their Kickstarters, I followed their website, I always look for their updates, and oh, wow, that's nice. And this is the first deck that I just said, yes, absolutely, this is one that I really want to have. And I think I think there is a guidebook that goes with this, and I think I'm going to have to get it because their symbolism is so rich and so detailed, and they really put a lot of thought and consideration into the creation of their decks. So I think it will be worth having a guidebook to go with this deck. I am a very intuitive reader, and so I can pick up an oracle deck and just read with it, but I think this one here would really reward a lot of study, since this doesn't strike me as just any old oracle deck. And this isn't a slight against oracle decks. I've read with lots of oracle decks, and I really, there are oracle decks that I own that I really, really like. I personally really enjoy the Chicoli oracle deck. What else do I have? I used to own the Celtic Animal Oracle deck. That was it was a deck I was given in high school like 20 years ago. So I've owned a handful, and some of them I really enjoyed using. But in general, I don't enjoy them because I like the symbolism of tarot. I like the history of it. I enjoy the lore of tarot, and you don't necessarily get that with oracle decks because they are self-created systems created by the artists and the authors, and or the authors, depending on who creates the deck. And so sometimes you get decks that are highly intricate and that have loads of meaning and introspection loaded into them, and some of them are very much art decks. They're really made for the art, or they're made as meditation tools, and that's certainly not a slight. Some people love those decks for those reasons. That's not necessarily how I typically use oracle decks, but in this case, for the Supra oracle, I could tell from the very first sample images I saw that there was a lot of intentionality behind the creation of these images, and the choice of concept behind the deck and how it was created. So I think that having a guidebook to go with this, oh, look at that. Oh, I love it so much. How can a card with nothing on it be so beautiful? But that is part of the beauty of Uusi Creations, is they put so much care into the choice of cardstock, into the choice of finish, into the size, into the coloration, and such richness of every detail, and that really makes such an enduring piece of art. Oh, gorgeous. So I think I ordered this in the pre-order back in spring, summer. I don't know. This was I participated in the pre-order quite a while ago, and the initial release, the slated release date was sometime in August. I received this the first week of October. Pre-order dates, you just never know kind of what's going to happen. You hope that the initial estimate of release is going to be accurate, but it so rarely is, especially with things like Kickstarters and pre-orders, because so many things cause delays in the course of a publication, especially with something as nuanced as a deck. There are so many moving parts that have to be considered, and shipping delays, especially when you're dealing with international shipping that has to come from a very long way away. I believe these are printed in China. So really a 6-week, 8-week delay is not, it's not really that bad. But, of course, like so many other people, I've just been counting down the weeks until I receive my Supra Oracle. These are so gorgeous. And here are some cards with just a hint of color on them. And the self card. And let's take a look at the backs. They have this beautiful mottled, kind of marbled look to the back. I don't know how well this shows up on camera. It's a very subtle look. It's the same pattern that appears on the box of the deck, so that gives you some idea of what it looks like. And the box has this gold printing on it, so it's a really, really gorgeous box, and it has the copyright on the bottom there. I'm really happy that I purchased this deck. I know I would have been happy, to have purchased the Pagan Otherworlds Tarot. It's a gorgeous deck. But I think that this is a deck that I will actually use and get a lot of mileage out of for clients and for personal use. Whereas I'm not sure if I really would have, I really don't know. Maybe I'll just have to purchase the Pagan Otherworlds and give it a try, because that's certainly a deck that I could trade or even sell on to someone else if it turns out to be not a great fit for me. I think the one kind of disappointment I have with this deck is that it's not linen finish. I think I'm a little spoiled with, what was my latest deck that I got? The Marigold Tarot with its gorgeous linen finish. Like, once I set hands on that, I'm like, oh, there's a reason why people are such fans of this. Like, it feels so nice, and the cards just, it really adds, oh my gosh, there's a reason why people go nuts for linen finish. I think the plasticky lamination feeling that these cards have are going to be a challenge for me personally to manipulate. Simply, just knowing me and knowing how I use cards. Other people will certainly have their personal preferences. And really, card finish and card texture is such a personal preference that, that can really make or break a deck. On the other hand, for other people, that's not going to be a huge deciding issue. Certainly artistically, if this is a style that speaks to you, highly recommended. The print quality is top notch. It's highly detailed. It's stunning. I find the images very pleasing to the eye. I find them very absorbing, and they really invite contemplation. They invite, they just draw me in and really invite this stillness and this meditation and thoughtfulness, this thoughtful consideration. And I can't wait to start working with this deck in a really personal way, because This is something I'm really going to enjoy owning, and I hope you've enjoyed this walkthrough and review. Do check out Uusi's website. It's UUSI if you want to look it up on a search engine. And thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.